The Sport Coach Dashboard is a new feature for TeamBuildr's Sports Science Hub core subscription. It focuses on providing insightful strength and conditioning data for distribution to sport coaches. To access this, you'll hit the Sports Science Hub tab, and we'll see our Sport Coach Dashboard right here on the left side. This dashboard enables sport coaches to receive and analyze customized reports and data trends for their athletic teams and enhances their interaction with the TeamBuildr platform. So let's dive in. Upon entering the dashboard, you'll be presented with a list of previously created dashboards, as we see here with our baseball dashboard. You also have the option to create a new one here as well. Strength coaches who own these dashboards can view, edit, share, duplicate, or delete them. However, if a sports coach has a TeamBuildr account with limited interactions, then they are only going to be able to view, duplicate, or simply learn more through the dashboard. To create a new dashboard, we'll click this blue plus button right here. From there, we are going to want to select the exercises that we want to look at to include in the dashboard, and you can select up to 10 exercises. As you toggle an exercise, you'll see it appear in the selected exercise box, or you can simply use this search box right here to search for a specific exercise and add it into the dashboard. If you want to remove an exercise that you've selected, simply click the X right here and it'll be removed from the dashboard. You'll also want to use this drop-down arrow to select the parameters for the maxes and PRs. So if you want to see all of the maxes and PRs, only something that's been manually entered, or only generated, you can select from these three options. From there, we click Load Dashboard and we have our dashboard created. Now we can select a group of athletes that we want to use, and we can see the data begin to populate. To show you a clearer view of what the data will look like, I'm going to jump back into our original dashboard where I know that there's data, but as you can see, this was how we created our first dashboard. Now, if I want to go back, it's important to note that the dashboard does not save on its own. So once you've created a new dashboard, you want to make sure that you hit that Save Dashboard button, so that way you can give the dashboard a title. So we'll just say Sport Coach Test. You can give it a description if you want, and then select Next. From there, you can choose which groups have access to this dashboard. So this is how you'll determine if the sport coach has either unlimited access, or if they have access to a certain group within their coach profile settings, then you'll want to select that group. So that way they can have access to be able to view the dashboard itself. So if we wanted to select a specific group, we can select baseball and hit submit, and then it will be saved in our main first page when you click that Sport Coach Dashboard. So if we go back, we can now see that we have our two dashboards, the one that was previously in here and the one that we just saved. So now if we go into this baseball dashboard, I'm going to select the group All, so that way we can see some of the features. The main visual piece of the dashboard is the performance overview chart. That plots out the selected group and athletes' recorded values for the selected exercises in the filter within the selected time range. So we can see up here we've selected the group All. We can choose to select an athlete, so we can do it based off of the athletes that are in this group, or we can view the group as a whole. Can see when we are looking at an individual athlete, we can see that they are reflected, their specific numbers are reflected on the dotted line, whereas the solid line represents the average of the group in its entirety. We can also choose to filter to select which exercises we want to see on the chart itself. It's important to note that this 40-yard dash is grayed out, because the metric that the 40-yard dash is collecting is not the same as the metric as far as kilograms for the bench press and the back squat. The 40-yard dash is going to be looking at time. So in order to see that on the performance overview, we would need to deselect the bench press and the back squat and then select the 40-yard dash. However, if you were to look at this information inside of the group analysis page, you would be able to look at all 3 exercises regardless of the metric being used. Here's where you can select the time frame. So we can look at daily markers and see each individual data point based on each day that the athlete has recorded information, or we can look at it from a monthly overview standpoint. Scrolling down on the performance overview page, we have our key performance exercises. If we click on this little button right here, we can see what all of this information is telling us. So we have our selected exercise right here. We have the group average. So this is the average results for the start and end of the date range that's been selected. If there's no data available for this exercise, then you'll just see a dashed line right here. We can also see the percent change of the average result. So both the percent change from the average result from the group average and from the athlete itself. And then we can see our selected athlete right here. So if we X out of here, we can see all of that information for Ryan as part of the group, as well as himself individually for the barbell bench press, and then again for the back squat. And even though the 40-yard dash isn't showing on this chart, we can see that information here as well. The group analysis tab is a more detailed overview of each athlete's training progress by detailing the start and end values for each exercise and the percentage change per athlete. Coaches can customize this table by adding the different exercises using the filter button. So right now we just have bench press, but we can select back squat, and we can now select 40-yard dash, and we can see all of those metrics for each athlete, as well as the group average down below. And we can scroll over to see each exercise. So if we had up to our 10 exercises that are available on each dashboard, they would continue to populate as we scrolled across. The column's background color is determined by the percentage change subcolumn. So if a percentage change is greater than 3%, it will show in red. And if it's less than 0%, it will show in green. Each dashboard has 3 main actions that coaches can use when they click this blue button with the 3 dots down in the bottom right-hand corner. They can choose to duplicate the dashboard, they can save their dashboard, or they can share their dashboard. It's important to note coaches that don't own the dashboard itself, they can only duplicate it. So it will allow them to customize a copied version for their own use, but they won't actually be able to save or share the dashboard with anybody else. Owners of the dashboard are coaches that have created the dashboard and saved them, and so they will have more control in managing those dashboards. Saving a dashboard allows coaches to save it as a template for later use. So specifying a title and a description, you can access these dashboards that can be configured to specific groups, ensuring that relevant team coaches can benefit from those shared insights. And then sharing the dashboard, you can share them externally with sport coaches or other stakeholders who don't have a TeamBuilder account. So this will be facilitated through a link that you'll receive when you click this button right here. Again, you can select the group that you want this dashboard to be reflective of. And then when you hit create link, you'll receive this link to copy. It's important to note that this shareable link will expire after 30 days. And that's our general overview of the Sport Coach dashboard. Please feel free to email us at support@teambuilder.com.